I want to answer some questions from the YouTube. Somebody asked me, whatever happened to my exorcism? One of my goals for last year was to participate in exorcism. Because the Philippines is the leading country of exorcisms in the world. And the leading exorcists, that's the right word, exorcists, the guys that do this shit, are in the Philippines. And they're, well, not obviously, they're Catholic priests. So I went to the dude, like I do, go to the top dude, right? Just like Mickey Gorman, who's the top motherfucker that does this shit. And it's a guy in his middle 40s who looks old. He looks haggard. And so I went, heard his mass, and I went with Sister Luce, Mother Superior, and a bunch of nun buddies of mine. That we hang, you know? We hang and drink and shit like that. And so he agreed to see me. But when I went up to him, I was wearing civilian clothes, and he thought I was a priest. And he says, there's something holy about you. I said, no, I'm not a priest. I said, okay. But a lot of people think that. Anyway. So he stood me up twice. He never would see me. And so then I said, well, fuck. He's, I don't know, I scared him, whatever. So who's the next guy? Well, the next guy is I got to address these fucking Marine guys. I mean, what the fuck? Anyway, so the oldest priest in the world is in the Philippines. So I travel out to the provinces, as they say. Do you remember where it was, Kat, when I went to see that priest way out in the provinces? Batangas, okay. And I went to see him, and I spent the good part of the day with him. And he and a Sister Superior from Rome for the Holy Family, which is an orphanage we support. And all the way out there, they try to talk me out of it. When I was there with the old priest, he tried to talk me out of it. And then he wanted to introduce me to a priest that has been doing exorcisms. Now, the guy is probably 30 years old. He looks 50. All these guys look a lot older than they are. I mean, a lot older than they are. So I spent about an hour with this priest, and he couldn't look me in the eye, and he just looked beat to shit. And he says, you shouldn't do this. For whatever reason, it's not a good reason. I don't care what reason it is. And he went on and on and on. So the more he tells me, the more I want to do it. You know? And I'm looking at all these priests that look like dog shit. They look like they've been worked over. And so the old priest, and he says, okay, he finally agrees, because I wasn't going to leave there until I got a fucking agreement. Like, you're either buying the insurance policy for me, or I'm moving in your house, and I'm going to be here every motherfucking day. That's how I sold life insurance. Same way. I don't take no for an answer. I had a 94.6% close ratio, not because I took no for answers when I sold. Okay. And this old priest, his brother is a priest. And they were celebrating their 50th year as a priest. That year, a few months, 6 months from now. So he went off to Rome for this big celebration, and he never came back. He never came back. So to answer your question on YouTube, I never did the exorcism. And the top guy won't do it with me, and now I don't live there anymore because it was more convenient when I'm there beating on the priest all the time to get it done. But you don't have to be a priest to do an exorcism, because there's parts of a Catholic exorcism that you're not a priest. It's like the guy that's reading the Bible, the scriptures, ranting and raving. And so that was going to be my part. But I was looking forward to it. I was going to jump on that motherfucker, and I was going to choke the fucking life out of the devil. Anyway, that's answering one question. Another question that was asked by the YouTubers, why we have the kids in uniform. We have active duty, we have a Marine and Air Force young man here, and I asked them to wear their uniforms, thank them for their service, etc. Again, people stand up so they don't get tired, and some of my more successful mentees use standing desks. Nobody in this room is going to do it because you're all fucking lazy cunts. Standing desk. You're all looking at me like I got shit on my face. Standing desk, you cunts. standing desks. And the real high performance guys walk on a treadmill at a standing desk. Well, so much for that idea for you. Marcus, standing desk. He doesn't use a treadmill. A number of the guys use treadmill. A number of the guys that you know about, not Ellison, but a number of the guys that you talk about, the high tech, they do standing desks at treadmills. When you go into their offices, you wonder, what the fuck, is this the gym? Why are there treadmills behind these desks? Because that's what they do. That's what they do. And I learned that 45 years ago from a guy named Bill Grosskruger, who used to be the president of E.F. Hutton, which is an old brokerage firm. And when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. There used to be a commercial years and years and years ago. Standing desk. And that's why they stand. And a lot of the kids, the high-performance kids, use standing desks. The first few days, well, there's not anybody in this room that can stand a whole day behind the desk, including the jarhead and the air. Because you got muscles, you'll be sore in muscles you didn't know you had. And by the third or fourth day, your knees and your back and your neck and everything else hurts. By the end of the week, it says, fuck that Peña, what the fuck's he know? He's just an old man. And you'll give it up. But the guys that continue feel it's very, very effective. Very effective. When I'm on the treadmill or on the stationary bike, I have a thing that holds my computer. So I don't waste time, because when I'm having a Skype talk, or at least I'm burning up calories when I'm talking to you idiots. And so they'll say, what's that high whining noise? Well, it's either the bike or it's the treadmill. If I'm bouncing along, it's the treadmill. And 4 kilometers an hour seems to be when you're walking on the treadmill, that's about, you can talk all right and you can function. But I can play computer chess, Skype, Zoom fuck, watch 2 computer screens, BBC, CNN. And some people say jack off all at the same time. But I've trained myself to do that. You don't just wake up one day and say, oh, I'm going to do 5 things today. Some of you can't even take a shit and read the paper. I'm not joking. You know how you go to the bathroom, you're going to read a paper? Some people in this room, not just this room, some people that have attended this seminar can't shit and read the paper at the same time. Your brain is so unfocused. And that's the simplest. It doesn't get more simple than shitting and reading the paper. Because you haven't trained yourself. A lot of the things we've talked about yesterday that I gave you examples, it's because I trained myself to do that. Because I picked up, well, this high performance person, this guy, he does this, well, fuck. And sometimes I don't even ask him, I just try it myself. Last night you saw the movie on fear, if I remember, right? Now I can just see all you guys, when the guy comes around the corner when that stupid dipshit and his girlfriend are walking there, you know, what you guys would do. Now we had a young girl here a few seminars ago. She says, I would have kicked the guy right in the balls and jumped on him and hit him with my high heel right in the eye. The girl said that, not the guy. How, don't answer, because I don't want it to be on YouTube forever that you're a cunt, but how would you approach that situation? If you'd been in the hood, like where I came from, you would have approached it one way. If you'd been a public school prat like Patrick over here, public school means private school in this country, you'd handle it a different way. And again, like I said, there's some, not just this group, but many groups have been in here, nobody ever hit them. And I told you one of my high-performance people, his goal is he wants to be in a bar fight. And I told him that he ought to give that a second thought, because it may be the one and only fight he ever enters into, because somebody will kill him in the bar. And as Mike Tyson in his infinite wisdom said, Everybody's got a plan till I punch him in the face. And that's true. Everybody's got a plan until, and that's why when we talk about business plans and you don't need them, I've never seen a business plan fail on paper. I'm going to say that slow. I've never seen a business plan fail on paper. Is everybody's English good enough to understand that? At most, they're wild-ass guesses. When I get a plan, I go to the summary and I cut. There's normally a high case, medium case, low case. Like everything in a perfect world, what you think is probably going to happen, and then the worst case, I take the worst case numbers and I cut them in half. If cutting the worst case numbers in half, like your deal, if it hunts, then I look at it. Worst case in half. Remember when I was asking you what's the best case scenario, what's the worst case scenario in the questions I asked you? It's laughable, some of the answers you gave me. I mean, fuck. So worst case, cut in half. If it still looks like the dog might hunt, then I look at it. Now, how many deals that I get do you think pass that test? Less than 1%. Less than 1%. And invariably, you're always high on revenue and low on expenses. And you underestimate grossly the time it's going to take to get it done. Those are the three areas. And when you think about it, there's only three things that can go that are part of a plan. Expenses, revenue, and how long is it going to take? What else can you fuck up? Can't fuck up anything else. Next time somebody shows you a deal, if you know what I mean, next time they show you a deal, cut the worst case in half. And the more you investigate, the less you'll have to invest. Costa Grazos told me that 35 years. The more you investigate, the less you'll have to invest. It will cut your investments by 99.9%. Not just invest money, but invest time. Like one of the guys that I met with yesterday had an idea for one of the first times in my life I had never thought of. And now that's saying something from 45 years of doing this. One guy that I saw yesterday had an idea that I never thought of, and it was you. Now, he looked kind of stupid, actually, when you look at him. What the fuck? But he came up with an idea, and I had you explain it to me 4 times. I wanted to make sure I understood it. And I said, fuck. Now, don't be telling everybody either. Don't share anything. In fact, tell them the opposite. Tell them, it goes this and this, to fuck them all up. But in 23 years, I had never thought of it. I just couldn't believe it. I told Sally last night, what the fuck? That old bald fuck? I mean, fuck. I can't believe I never thought of that. Anyway, so one. But even a blind hog will get an acorn once in a while. Even a blind hog will get an acorn once in a while. Well, it doesn't matter. I'd rather be lucky than smart 1,000,000 times. See, one of the troubles with the deals that I see is you guys want to come up with a smart idea. That ain't going to happen. Or the possibilities of it happening are so fucking remote, it's not worth worrying about. It's not worth worrying about. Okay, oh, by the way, YouTubers, again, I'm going to be talking at the Oxford Guild on the 25th. And I don't know how many, we've already got quite a few people that have contacted the office. There's limited tickets, but they told us that I can have a limited amount. And so we're going to give them the list. And so I don't know if everybody that's already called can go. But anyway, I'm looking forward to going down there. Okay, YouTube, thank you.